Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Q&A, live Q&A discussing U.S. immigration law. I'm John Khosravi, managing attorney of the JQK Immigration Law Firm. I come once every week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, to take your general educational kind of questions. It's just kind of educate the public about the situations that are happening with the U.S. immigration system. I know it's complicated, doesn't make sense a lot of times, so hopefully this could be a service to help you out with that. So definitely take a look and check out the other channels, the YouTube main channel, YouTube clip channel, where you have hundreds and hundreds of clips. Answer pretty much all the questions that come up in 2 or 3 minute formats there. And we're on LinkedIn and everywhere you can find us. Two other notes: we do give you away free consultations. So every 10 minutes, my assistant will name somebody who liked, commented, and subscribed, who says consultation in a comment. And during the live show, every 10 minutes, we'll choose one person to give them a free video 15-minute consultation. So definitely check that out. And also, if you're interested in doing a marriage immigration case, a fiance visa, that kind of stuff, which is the focus of my firm, just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com and download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook, a guide. It's going to really help you out. It's a breakdown of everything. It's the best one out there. Go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com and download the guide and see for yourself what kind of information it has, so that before you start the process, you could talk with somebody. You could know the strategy before you talk with somebody. I think it's going to help you out a lot. And yes, with that, let's get it started. All right, so we have some questions trickling in already. Love asking, my I-130 got approved today. What do I do next? Well, congratulations. The I-130 petition for alien relative is approved that the family relationship between you exists, either brother, sister, sibling, spouse, kids, all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming you probably got a marriage one. If you filed a standalone I-130 and it was approved, chances are the foreign national is overseas. Then at this point, assuming all that is correct, consular processing will begin. So you have to wait to get a notification from a group called the National Visa Center, the NVC for short. The NVC will send you a case number and invoice ID number for you to log into their website and pay the fee and begin uploading civil documents, financial documents, and completing Form DS-260. Once that's completed to their satisfaction, they will they'll notify the embassy that in the country that you live in that's going to have your interview, and you then have to wait for an interview to be scheduled. Timelines I don't have, because a lot of embassies are closed, and none of them are really closed. They just slow down to such a drastic extent they're essentially closed. So there's long delays right now in getting an appointment. But that's a synopsis of the next step. I did a really thorough, like 15-20 minute video about exactly this. If you go to the JQK Law YouTube channel, there search consular processing, is a very thorough step-by-step video that breaks everything down for you there. You can also check it out in the marriageimmigrationlaw.com ebook. I have the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide, where I discuss the consular processing system, along with links to all the videos that discuss it. But thank you for your question. Love last, but my husband is in Haiti, and the embassy open for a CR1. I think you're asking, is the embassy open? I don't know. I don't keep track. Unfortunately, Haiti had some really wild things happen today. The president was assassinated. That always has an effect on the U.S. Embassy in one way or another. You should go to the website for the embassy to see if they're open, if they're operating. Maybe try emailing them. Check out the Twitter site. But most likely, they're either closed or very slowly processing. So you can expect delays in the rest of the case. Hopefully, it won't be like that. But that's a likelihood of thing to happen. Shubha asks, how long is the I-751 process? I-751 is the removal of conditions. This is a person who recently got married and got their green card within 2 years of their marriage. How long does it take? Anywhere from 6 months to 2 years on average. A very wide range. When you submit the application for it, your green card will expire by that point, but the receipt you'll get will be an 18-month extension of the green card status. You use that for traveling and for work. But usually between 6 and 24 months. It's a huge variance, but it's the best, it's the most honest thing I could tell you. Thank you for your question. Joanne asks, hello, does a green card require me to be vaccinated against some disease? Yes, if you are going to be applying for a U.S. green card, part of the requirements is doing a medical checkup, which includes making sure you either have or get certain vaccines like DTaP, hepatitis B, if it's the winter influenza vaccine. There's a list of them. If you look at Form I-693 online and get a sample, on one of the last pages has a list of the vaccines. You can check it out. Mumps, rubella, there's a name for that. That's the triple MMR vaccine. So there's a possible, unless sometimes there's exceptions, you could get maybe a waiver in some rare cases. But vaccination is part of the process to become a green card holder, whether you're doing it through the embassy or whether you're adjusting status in the U.S. And because can a student who is here in the U.S. in tourist visa can apply for a student visa? So you're not a student yet. You're a person, you're a tourist who wants to apply for a student visa. It is possible. It's very complicated because the process to change your status from a tourist visa holder to a student visa holder takes so long nowadays, sometimes 8, 10, 12 months, that it really messes up with the timing when the school starts, and maintain your underlying status becomes difficult. You have to follow what it's called bridge extensions on your tourist visa. It gets really messy, so it's recommended you have an immigration attorney. I myself don't handle these kind of cases. Or if you could just go through the embassy process through your country to get the visa, but that may not be a good idea depending on which country you're from. So there's a lot that goes into that. Unfortunately, they made it much more complicated than it has to be, but that's what we're dealing with right now. Melissa asks, hi, do you know how long it takes to get a biometrics notice? I filed for adjustment of status marriage on March 16th. I haven't received the biometrics notice yet. Unfortunately, it varies. Some cases they'll issue the biometrics within a few weeks or months, and sometimes much longer. It depends on how busy your local facility is. And because of COVID, things got really out of whack. It used to be 1 or 2 months after filing. Now there are no timelines of when a biometrics notice is going to be issued. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but that's something that is unknown and there's no set time. Love follows up. Can I expedite the interview? Maybe. The chances are low, but you could always give it a shot. And they follow up and ask, okay, user 710 says, hi, sir, I have a green card. Can I apply for my wife and son? She wait for interview date. I have a green card and I apply for my wife and son. She wait. Okay, I'm not sure what the question is in that user 710. It seems like you've applied and they're waiting for the interview date. Then you just have to wait for the interview date. Amir asks, hello, sir. Can I do 2 affidavits at the same time for my wife and sister because my dad doesn't work? Yeah, if your income's enough and stuff, that should be fine. If it's usually at the same time, doesn't even come up. But let's say you file for your wife first and she gets her green card, and then do the affidavit for your sister. You can still do it for her. It's just you have to see what your income levels are relative to the family size that you have. Ivy Mary asks, hi, sir, I need to provide pay stubs for I-864. My husband's previous jobs he has done through direct deposit. Should that be a problem, or just send employment verification letter and 1-month pay stub? It's not mandatory that you send pay stubs or write an explanation letter for application. It's not mandatory. In the past, I wouldn't send them, but unless you have, continuous history of doing tax returns that are really high, you could just send that. Now, it's not guaranteed. Even if your husband does get direct deposits, there are pay stubs that are issued. You just got to contact the employer. So if you want to file pay stubs and send with pay stubs, you should contact the employer and ask for them. Pay stubs are mandatory. Each employee in the U.S. needs to have a breakdown of how much of their income is going to taxes and not. So it's something they have to provide you. So I would get it if you plan on submitting an application you want to do pay stubs instead of writing an explanation letter, because that explanation isn't valid, I don't think. But it should work out. You should be able to get that. All right, Chapdem asks, can an 18-year-old adjust status through marriage? Yes, it's possible. I don't even think there's an age requirement on marriage, but at least the thing about marriage is twofold. One is your marriage has to be lawful in the country you're getting married in and you're in. So if 18 is usually lawful everywhere. And secondly, for the affidavit support, you have to be 18. But either you make enough money for that support or you find a joint sponsor if you're not 18 yourself. So it is possible. Download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com to get more information about the marriage case. So we're coming up on a time for the raffle. Just a reminder, the raffle is a free 15-minute video consultation where you could, come talk with me at video. And to get that, like, subscribe, and leave a comment like consultation or something like that. And my assistant will notify me of the winner in a few minutes. But we'll take the next question from there. Love follows up. My husband was arrested in 2018, but all police report says he has nothing on his record. Should I say yes or no on the yes form 60? Well, this is too case specific, but if your husband was arrested on the form, they asked for arrest, and you have to be honest, and you need to get the arrest record and the police certificate. If the police report doesn't say anything or the police report doesn't, then that's going to be a complicated case, unfortunately. But you have to be honest and answer everything honestly on the application forms for the government. All right, so raffle winner is Love herself. Thank you so much. So I'm not sure how much more I can help you, Love, because that's a pretty tricky situation. but you are a raffle winner. Take a screenshot of wherever you're watching so I know it's your account and you somehow have your screen name listed in there, and email it to me at info@jqqlaw.com. That's info@jqqlaw.com. We'll have a quick chat, but also, get your police certificates for Haiti so we see what comes up on there, and we'll talk more. But thanks so much for joining. And as a reminder, get down the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide for more information and strategy guidance on applying for a marriage green card. So we'll take the next question from there. Retail I'll ask, what does F2B for? What means F2B for? Well, I'm not sure the 4 is coming in there, but an F2B is the second preference family. For this essentially is if a green card holder applies for a green card for their adult child, so a child's over 21 and single, that's the F2B preference category. 4, I'm not sure what the 4 is putting in there. It might be a question mark you're trying to put, I don't know. But F2B is adult child of a green card holder, unmarried. User 710 asks, June 14th, send me an email. NVC says 60 more days with wait. What do you think? Yeah, the National Visa Center recently started a program that when you're documentarily qualified, they'll keep sending you reminder notices saying that we have your case, everything's okay, it's moving forward. They'll probably just say it's okay to wait. I'd have to review the email myself to see what it says there, but probably that's what it just says. You're okay, wait. Zane asks, excuse me, I got my combo card, advanced parole, and work permit. Can I travel to my home country for 2 months? Zane, advanced parole does give you permission to travel and leave without abandoning your case, but whether you could individually travel to your home country, I don't know, because I don't know your personal background, whether you've had any arrests, any immigration violations, if you submitted your case properly, because if, let's say you got the advanced parole, but then they realize your case was improper and they send it back, all of a sudden you're stuck outside. So without reviewing your entire case and background, I can't answer that individual question. We're only doing general educational kind of stuff here. David Robles asks, why do federal benefits require social security number, but state benefits don't? Well, that's not an immigration issue. So that's not something I can help you with, David Robles, but best of luck. Can I legally work with the state tax ID number as an undocumented immigrant? Not legally is a loaded term. There's different violations that happen in there. If you're undocumented, you're not supposed to work without authorization. That's the basics of it. I don't want to get too much more into that here. It's not the place for this kind of discussion about that topic. Anastasia asked, my visa date availability is 2019. I was 19 when my uncle petitioned for my mom, dad, and myself and siblings. Am I eligible for CISPA? I don't know, Anastasia. I'd have to analyze to see when the I-130 was initially filed. I need to see your birth certificate. I need to see when the I-130 was approved. I don't know. Probably not, honestly, but I'd have to review the case individually to see if it works or not. I wouldn't be able to answer that just based on this information. Madagima asks, are there scheduling asylum interviews? Do you have any information on the after COVID? On the after COVID, you're probably saying, well, yeah, there's some asylum offices are. It just varies, Some offices may be doing a lot of interviews, but they might not be interviewing you. So there's a lot of things that go in there, and so there's not anything you could do. The question essentially is, it doesn't matter. You just gotta wait. That's about it. Just make sure you renew your work permit within a timely manner. So it follows up. Thank you, sir. Can I submit 2 affidavits if my income isn't enough? No, if your income's not enough, you can't do that. So, I'd have to go over the exact cases to see what's going on, but if you don't make enough income, then no, you can't do that. Mohammed asks, USCIS canceled my interview 2 times. Is that bad? No, I've had cases where USCIS cancels interviews and cancels schedules. I can't say for sure it's not bad, but they do mess ups like that. So I've seen it before happen without issue. So it's not a thing that would necessarily worry me. Anastasia follows up, my priority date is 2007. So Anastasia, I still can't answer any of these questions because it's too complex. I'd have to individually have a consultation with you to see what's going on. Love, I know you're asking a lot of questions. Just save it for our video consultation. We'll go ahead and sit there. It's too case specific to talk about here. Grissom Moore asks, hello, my husband got an email stating case ready for interview, but his I-601 has not been approved. Is it possible to get an interview before the approval? Yeah, well, it depends. If you're doing I-601 with the adjustment status, probably you're gonna have to go to the interview and interview first before they approve the I-601. Probably you're gonna get the interview first before approval, yeah, most likely. Gurpreet asks, "Hello, sir. Can I expedite my individual hearing?" You can't expedite hearings necessarily. I don't do court cases, so I'm not the best resource for this. But sometimes you could try to replace your case with someone faster than you. So if your lawyer, for example, finds another lawyer who has a case that's earlier, you can try to switch places if the judge allows it. That's something that's done in immigration court. One of our regulars, Paranoid Android, asks, after USCIS approval of an O1 or P1, these are people with extraordinary ability in the arts and athletics, that kind of stuff. Is it an absolute requirement to apply for the visa stamp in my home country, or can I go to Mexico or Canada, then enter the United States? When you say go to Mexico or Canada, do you mean apply for the visa stamp in Mexico or Canada? Or so your question is different. So you're saying, do you have to apply for visa stamp in my home country? Then you say, can I go to Mexico or Canada, then enter? So if you're asking whether you can do visa stamp in Mexico or Canada, it depends. Mexico generally will not do the initial approval interview for initial approval of a business case, an employment case. They'll do extensions under normal circumstances. Right now, they're just not doing third country nationals, what it's called. And I think Canada as well is not doing third country nationals, TCN cases. So it's just going to be hard to do that under normal conditions. Is hard enough, but under COVID right now, you got to see what the day-to-day guidance is at that specific consulate or embassy that you want to have your interview at to see if they'll accept it. They're probably not going to accept it at this time unless it's some sort of emergency or unique situation. Sonia Patel Roy, Patricia Hoyos, Nisas familiar. Very good to talk with you. I have requested to expedite my case on June 14th due to medical and financial conditions. It was a phone call to USCIS. A USCIS representative told me that my reasons are valid and they will evaluate my case and let me know if they need additional information. I still haven't heard from them and the case is the same. How long do you think they'll wait before they call again? So when you request an expedite request, the system is really inconsistent. And I've had it where they're supposed to email me and they wrote down the wrong email address, so I never got their thing. But if they're going to ask you for more evidence, it should happen within 4 or 5 days. If it hasn't come, there is some sort of problem that happened in the midst. So you need to follow up on that or potentially ask your congressperson to help you. But you got to be careful. If there's financial conditional issues, I don't know your individual case, but if you're the sponsor, financial sponsor, and you come and say, I'm not making enough money, or I'm going to lose my job, that could potentially affect the case too. So it's something that you got to really review and think about before requesting. But if you made the request June 14th, right now it's July 7th, and you still know nothing going on, it's not too bad. It's just USCIS is completely inconsistent, so it's hard to give an exact answer. They change their procedures every day on a whim. Usually, if they're going to follow up for evidence, it's done within a week. If they don't, expedites generally take 3 to 5 weeks for them to review what the situation, your case. Even if I knew the facts, I don't know. This is a constant battle I have with USCIS because they do things differently every time. It's very hard to have a consistent expectation of what to expect from them. So unfortunately, the answer is who knows. Just keep following up with them, and then get your congressional person involved, your congressman or woman. But be careful. You don't want to mess up the case by saying something that's going to be problematic later. So definitely think about that as well. Sony follows on my case is F2A, and my relatives are in another country. USCIS reference number. So you have an F2A, which means you're applying for your spouse and child in another country. It's a mess. Sonia, I don't really have a good answer. It's not a good answer. I don't have a good answer. Most likely things aren't going to work out the way you want it to. But hopefully if they do, you always try calling and following up. But there's no good answers there. Fabio asks, I'm a neurosurgeon on J1. I got a job and I filed for a waiver. Okay, Fabio. The state gave the recommendation. I'm waiting for the DSO. Can a congressman expedite this process? Yes. How quick? How quick and stuff is never an answer you can answer in immigration. Congressperson can ask them to. The Department of State does whatever the Department of State wants to do. But if you're coming into the U.S. to study medicine or be a doctor, getting a waiver is really difficult. I'd have to see what's going on in your case to see what the basis of it is. So there's a lot going on there, Fabio. How long, how fast, I can't answer. Maybe a congressperson involved, but I need to know the underlying case, what's happening first before I could really get into that. One of Four Kind asks, have you had a permanent residency UK and your file opens under F4 category, can I transfer my case to country I live? Yes, you could have your green card interview, and it's supposed to have an immigrant visa interview at the embassy that you're residing in. So wherever your residence is, and that's where the interview will happen. If it's no longer the UK, you have to notify the National Visa Center when that stage starts to let them know that you've changed the location. All right, so next question is, Iridian asks, how long for a waiver I-601A approval? You know, again, how long questions are hard to answer. It could be 6 months, it could be 2 years. 601As are backed up at least a year, I mentioned right now. I don't file I-601As myself, but from what colleagues tells me, it's at least a year, if not a year and a half easy. And then you have to deal with getting an appointment scheduled. So you're in for the long haul. It could be years, 2 3 years at least before you actually have an immigrant visa interview and get your green, come back and get your green card. Now, a quick note, Sonia Patricia Arroyo, you are a winner for the free 15-minute video consultation. Just take a screenshot of wherever you're watching and send that to me by email at info@jqklaw.com, and we'll schedule a consultation. For those who are just tuning in, I give out free 15-minute video consultations every 10 minutes. We have 2 more. What you got to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment that says consultation. And my assistant will choose somebody in 10 and 20 minutes from now before the end of the show to give these 2 more spots up, and we'll take it from there. Reminder, we're getting questions about how long things take, how quick this is. There's no answers for those. And if you are interested in a marriage green card case, a fiance case, start by downloading the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. It's the ultimate guide that really breaks down the strategy, what's going on, and the forms and all that kind of stuff, so you know what the next steps are before talking with an immigration attorney, and you come in prepared. So with that, we'll take the next question. Anastasia follows up, my name came up in the interview letter, but no docs were submitted for DS-260. I don't know, Anastasia. I have to see the case. If you think your child status protection act qualified, you have to get added to the case before the interview. So you need to be in touch with the NVC or the embassy itself and to try to add yourself. So you really need to analyze the situation with a lawyer and not guess at it and stuff. You don't want to be left out of that case if it's appropriate. Rima asks, how long are I-756I approvals taking after biometrics and adjustment status? So the biometrics have no bearing on how long the case takes. I get this comment every day, like 5 or 6 times. Biometrics has nothing to do on when you're going to get your green card, when you get your interview, when you get your work permit. It's just a step that has to happen beforehand, or at least before issuance. So how long are I-765 approvals? The work permit based on a green card case pending. On average, they're taking 7 to 10 months. I'm seeing right now. It's the longest I've ever seen it. 7 or 10 months. Hopefully, it'll be sooner for you. Grissom asks, first adjustment of status was denied through marriage because we didn't apply for the waiver for multiple legal entrances. And now the case moved fast with pending interview and pending I-618 approval. The question is not clear, Grissom. You got a second adjustment. Grissom, there's a lot going on in your case. It's too much to be able to answer here. It's too case specific, so I'm going to be able to get into any of that. Mohammed asks, if I had a previous marriage case in 2017 and it was rejected because my ex-wife and I did not limit the interview and she canceled the marriage, is this a reason to reject my new case? Yeah, in the last couple of years, it was a serious situation that if you had a previous marriage case and you withdrew it or if something happened or stopped, especially if you had an interview scheduled, and then you have a new marriage case later, they're going to go deeply and analyze that first marriage case. So you have to document and be prepared to show that that initial marriage that didn't work out was real, and the new one is real too. It's something I've been seeing some serious pushback and reasons for finding a fraud and misrepresentation. So I 100% recommend that you get an immigration attorney that's local to you that could come with to an interview because it's a serious problem. I think it's very, very serious. I've seen a lot of disasters happen in this fact pattern. Grissom follows up, this is a second adjustment, but with the waiver. Well, if you had multiple unlawful entries, even a 601 waiver wouldn't work. You have to do what's called constant processing. So Grissom, you really should have an immigration attorney guide you as to what's going on and not keep submitting cases incorrectly like this can be very problematic. So I don't know. I'd have to review the case myself to be able to answer that. Sonia, you're welcome. I look forward to talking with you. Take that screenshot and we'll do the free video consultation. And again, for those just popping in, if you write consultation, then like and subscribe to the show and to whatever channel you're watching it on. We'll try to get you a 15-minute free video consultation. We've got 2 more left in this rest of the show. Thank you, Sonia. Sammy asks, hey, brother, my wife has Swedish passport. How can she visit me? I live in the United States. Well, Sweden is subject to the European travel ban, or at least people who have visited Sweden. Usually they can get to what's called a visa waiver program, but there needs to be an exception. If you're a U.S. citizen, that's an exception right there. But I'd have to review the case. So typically, she could just get the visa waiver, ESTA. Some people call it the STA. Apply for it online, then fly over. The travel ban, we got to see if an exemption applies. So then it goes into case-specific stuff unique to your case. So, Sammy, I hope some sort of exception applies and you can see your wife. Rita asks, where are you? How much your fee? I'm in Los Angeles, California. If the case doesn't require an interview or in-person thing, and I don't always need to go on an interview, I could take a case from anywhere. And most of my cases, half my cases are from Los Angeles, the other half from all over the country and the world. And my fees vary. It depends on the case and what's going on. So I always have to have an initial consultation. There's a fee for that. So email my office if you're interested, break down basically what your case is, and I can reply with whether I handle that case or I could accept it. Potentially, you have to do a consultation first, and I'll let you know how much the consultation fee is there. My email is info@jqqlaw.com. Manish asks, what happens if I did not update my physical address in marriage-based green card process interview? Well, that's a big issue. Your green card is going to be sent to the old address. And if they do an investigation into your case, which they probably won't, but if they did, they go to the wrong address and think you don't live there and that you're lying. So you got to update your address. It's a serious issue. And if you move to a different jurisdiction where a different office is supposed to do the interview and they find out, they may not approve a green card and say go do another interview. So it's a cascading domino effect of issues that you can deal with. That's why you gotta have an immigration attorney to talk with, to watch out for case on this kind of stuff, so to prevent these kind of just technical issues that are problematic. Ritasha asks, my son, all paperwork is done, only NVC, sending India's apply F2. Rita, your question, I just don't understand it, unfortunately. So you're saying paperwork's done, NVC saying India apply F2. I don't know what your question is. Sorry, Rita. Superb C, 29 regular asks, good night, Attorney Khosravi. Any updates on the backlogs for immigrant visas? Are there any known lawsuits? Well, the backlog for visas pending at the embassy has only gotten worse. It's gone to 500,000. It was like 400,000. Now it's 500,000. So it's exponentially just a mess. And other lawsuits, there are a couple of lawsuits happening on all different aspects of it. None that are coming through. But if you on Twitter, if you follow 3 lawyers, Charles Cook, Greg Siskin, and Jeff Joseph, they're doing a lot of lawsuits. I think Curtis Morrison's filing lawsuits on different aspects of this backlog too, especially for diversity visa lottery winners. So check out those Twitter pages. They give a lot of updates on what's going on with their lawsuits and the lawsuit situation. Cal asks, my silent green card pending since 18 months. Is there any procedure to expedite the case? You can always request an expedite, but you have to have a reason to expedite it. So if it's just because it's pending for a while, doesn't mean that should be. Now, I need to review the case to see if it's appropriate to be pending that long. But you can always try to expedite, but you have to have a good reason, because other than the fact that you want your green card faster, what is the reason you need your green card? So you got to be able to express that and document that. Grissom Moore says, thank you, you're great. Thank you, Grissom Moore. Hopefully you guys get some good news with soon. God bless. Selena asks, hi, if someone became a U.S. citizen and went back to their home country to live there, now they want to come to the United States with their kids, can they come? Well, U.S. citizens can go as they like. Now, the issue is the children. Are the children U.S. citizens? Then they could come. If they're not, you got to apply for their proper status. Now, whether they're automatically citizens or not, or whether they have to apply for green cards first, it depends on your background, particularly how long you lived in the U.S., at what ages. So we'd have to do analysis of your background to see if your children properly are able to obtain citizenship, and then they will contact the U.S. Embassy and try to get that. If not, you have to file for a green card case for them and do the processing, so that when they enter the U.S. with you to reside there, they can apply and get their citizenship. Or you may just apply for their tourist visas if you don't plan on staying here. There's other kind of things. It gets complicated for children of U.S. citizen situations. There's a lot of laws that change in this area. So it's something I have to individually review to get analysis on. One of our regulars, Marlon 818 TV, is on. Hi, Marlon. Good to see you again. Appreciate you coming on. Manish asks, hi, I'm on F1 status as a student visa with an expired visa. How safe to travel using combo card with no criminal history? So, Manish, I think I asked the question again. I can't tell you how safe something is. One is I can never give you a guarantee of how safe it is. Always issues could apply, but I don't know you individually, so I can't give individual guidance on a public, a thing like this. Please, schedule a private time with consultation attorney. But generally speaking, it's not an issue if everything's okay. But I can't tell you if things are okay or not. Tim Woodbreck asks, if the decision is made after the adjustment interview, would you be able to see it when you check your case status online? So, when you do a case in the U.S., especially like a green card case, and you have an interview, there's an online system where you can put your case number in on USCIS.gov that can give updates. They don't always update the system. So I would say like 80% of the time they update it. So maybe your green card is issued, it's approved, but you don't get a notice. Maybe 90%. It's getting better. It used to be like 60%. Most likely you'll be able to check online. Most likely what'll happen. But the main thing is just wait for notice in the mail. So we have a winner for our raffle for 520. It's Grissomar. Grissomar, thank you so much. Let's talk. I'm interested in seeing what happened with your case and with the waiver, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it's some good news we give you at the interview, at the consultation. Just email me, take a screenshot to let me know this is your profile, Grissomar. Email that to info@jqqlaw.com, and we'll schedule a video consultation. Just email me, we'll connect and I'll take it from there. But thanks for watching, and thanks everyone else for watching. For those just coming in, we give out free video consultations, 15 minutes. Just write consultation, like, subscribe to the channel you're watching at, and then in about 10 minutes, we'll have our last winner. We've given out 3 so far. Usually it's 3 to 4 every week, where we have free video consultations to help you out. Just send me, just leave that comment, stay online for another 10 minutes. So or maybe 6 minutes when I announce the winner, and we'll take it from there. We are getting a lot of questions about timelines. Unfortunately, things are just backed up and there's no way to give a reliable timeline, so I avoid doing that. And if you're getting married, you're planning on getting married, your fiancés, and you want to know what the situation is with marriage green cards, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. Go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com, download it, check it out. Even if you're not doing a marriage case, but you're doing a green card process, you can download the Marriage Immigration Guide because most of it overlaps those areas. I should probably just take off the page that says marriage and just make it a general guide, and other people can download it too. But if you are thinking about a green card, download that. I'll give you some ideas at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. I think it'll help you all a lot, so it'll be something fun to do. All right, Super C, 29 Super C says, okay, thanks, I'll check it out. JK Law Firm, attorney Khosravi, been documented, qualified for just over a year and still waiting. It's tough. What country are you waiting in, 29 Super C? What embassy are you waiting for to schedule an interview? One of the biggest countries that have interviews is Mexico. Interviews happen at Ciudad Juarez, where it's opening now. It was a long time, almost a year or two, when the U.S. Embassy in Ciudad Juarez was not scheduling interviews. They are again. And right now, they're essentially scheduling people who are documentarily qualified in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, about a year and some months ago. So if you're like at the April-May time, you're getting your interview scheduled at Ciudad Juarez. So there's a year backlog there. And this affects people who are in who need waivers the worst. So let's say the person is overseas, and I'll get into that. We have another question. We'll get to that. But it's a mess, the timelines. 29 Super Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know when the embassy is going to open up their process, but a year is a long way for that place because it's not like the demand for immigrant visas is that high. Hopefully, you get the process in soon. We have another question by Del Zabar. It says, hi, do I need to complete Form I-693 for interview? I came to the U.S. with the K-1 visa and I filed for adjustment of status on time. So when you come to the U.S. with the K-1, a fiance visa, you all have to do a medical checkup at the U.S. Embassy before they will approve your K-1 visa. So you already did your medical there, and they should have given you a copy of the paperwork. USCIS knows this already, so they don't ask you for it. But it's not mandatory that you do your vaccines at the same time. So some people do the K-1 fiance interview. They do the medical checkup, but they don't get the required vaccines. If you did not get the vaccines during that checkup for the embassy interview, you need to get it now in the United States with Form I-693. Contact one of the doctors that are registered to do that with USCIS. But if you did, they should have given you like 3 pages of paper usually, and you bring that to the interview. USCIS probably has a copy already in their file. But that shows you did the required vaccines and you did the medical checkup, so that should suffice. So you probably are okay because most people take care of it all before the interview at the embassy. But you never know, So hopefully that information helps. But thank you for watching. So we have a few more minutes left. We'll take 1 or 2 more questions, then announce who the winner of the last free consultation raffle is to get a free 15-minute video consultation to talk about this stuff. But yeah, you see all the questions that pop up here, and it's just immigration is way too complicated than it needs to be. Unfortunately, that's the case. 29 Super C follows up. They are doing immigrant visas, but it's more emergency-based, family-based, and for spouses and for U.S. fiancés. 29 Super C, what kind of case do you have? I thought you had a family case. Yeah, the priority is family, like spouses and fiancés, and maybe children, minor children, and people applying for U.S. passports. That's the priority because of the slowdown in the system. Yeah, hopefully you get yours soon. I know how frustrating it could be to wait all this and have it not go anywhere. So with that, if there's any other raffle nominees, let me know. If not, okay, 29 Super C, thank you for joining. Let's have. I wouldn't mind seeing you. We've been on the show and then coming on so much. Please send me an email, take a screenshot so I know it's your account, and then email it to me at info@jklaw.com. I'll have a free consultation real quick to see what's going on in your case and talk a little. Good to put a face behind the username. And employment-based EB3, oh, that sucks. That's EB3 is taking a while like that. You just want to get the job started. Hopefully, we'll lose a job or something like that as they wait for you. All right, everybody, that's it for today. We'll be back again next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time to take your questions. As you can see, it's nonstop questions, rattling off answers, general education kind of stuff. If you want to schedule a consultation, email me at info@jqklaw.com. There is a consultation fee, but just email me first. Let me know what kind of case you have. Sometimes I can answer quick stuff really easily. We just take care of it like that. But with that, everyone, God bless. Be safe. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.